For a player who hasn't lifted a trophy in nearly 4 years, Jordan Spieth continues to find ways to capture attention on the PGA Tour. His 2026 campaign has been defined by resilience, inconsistency, and flashes of brilliance, and nowhere has that been more evident than at the RBC Heritage this week. At Harbour Town Golf Links, a venue that has already played host to some of the most memorable moments of Spieth's recent career, the three-time major champion added yet another chapter. This time, however, it wasn't a victory or a playoff heartbreak. Instead, it was a statistical anomaly so rare that it hasn't been seen on the PGA Tour in over 2 decades. A scorecard that defies logic. Through the first 36 holes of the tournament, Spieth managed to produce one of the most unusual scorecards in modern PGA Tour history. He was under par, sitting at 1 under, despite recording 0 bogeys and an astonishing 4 double bogeys. On the surface, that might sound contradictory. In golf, avoiding bogeys typically signals consistency and control. Double bogeys, on the other hand, are round killers, mistakes that often derail momentum and push players well down the leaderboard. To combine both extremes in such a way, while still staying under par, is almost unheard of. According to renowned stats analyst Justin Ray, Spieth is the only player in the last 20 years to achieve this feat, being under par through 2 rounds while carding 4 or more double bogeys without a single bogey. It's a statistical paradox that perfectly encapsulates the unpredictable nature of Spieth's game. To put it into perspective, 4 double bogeys alone account for 8 strokes over par. In most scenarios, that would leave a player well outside the cut line. Conversely, Spieth also made 9 birdies across those same rounds, which on their own would typically push a player near the top of the leaderboard. The end result? A bizarre balancing act that left him hovering in the middle of the pack at T41. Round by round breakdown, chaos and control. Spieth's opening round was a microcosm of his entire week. He carded a 69, navigating Harbour Town's tight fairways and tricky greens with a mix of brilliance and frustration. A double bogey on the par 4 8th hole, caused by an errant tee shot that went out of bounds, threatened to derail his round early. But Spieth did what Spieth does best. He responded. With a series of birdies on the back 9, he managed to not only recover but finish the round under par, showcasing his trademark ability to bounce back from adversity. The second round followed a similarly unpredictable script. Spieth opened with a double bogey, immediately putting himself on the back foot. Yet, instead of spiraling, he clawed his way back with birdies on the 2nd and 5th holes. Then came the 8th hole again, a recurring nemesis. This time, a wayward shot found the water, leading to yet another double bogey. Later in the round, a missed up and down from a greenside bunker on the 13th added a 3rd double for the day. Despite the setbacks, Spieth once again found a way to steady the ship. Birdies on the 14th and 16th holes helped him salvage a 72, keeping him just under par heading into the weekend. The Spieth formula: high risk, high reward. If there's one thing fans and analysts have learned over the years, it's that Spieth doesn't play boring golf. His rounds are often filled with dramatic swings, both positive and negative, that keep spectators glued to every shot. This week has been no exception. While many players rely on consistent ball striking and conservative play, Spieth's success has leaned heavily on his short game and putting. Through the first 2 rounds, he gained over 5 strokes on the greens, a testament to his elite touch with the putter. However, that success has come at a cost. His driving accuracy has been inconsistent, hitting just 42% of fairways, and his approach play has left him scrambling more often than he would like. Yet, even in difficult situations, Spieth has shown an uncanny ability to manufacture birdies from unlikely positions. It's a style of play that can produce magical moments, but also costly mistakes. Course history fuels hope. Part of the intrigue surrounding Spieth's performance this week stems from his strong history at Harbour Town. The course clearly suits his eye and rewards the creativity that defines his game. In 2022, Spieth captured the RBC Heritage title in dramatic fashion, defeating Patrick Cantlay in a playoff. The following year, he nearly repeated the feat, reaching the playoff once again before falling to Matthew Fitzpatrick. With that track record, it's no surprise that analysts believe this could be the week Spieth ends his winless drought. Johnson Wagner even publicly backed Spieth to contend, citing his comfort level on the course and recent improvements in his game. "I think it's going to be Jordan Spieth," Wagner said confidently earlier in the week. "He's had great success here, and I love the way he's been hitting it." A season of near misses. Spieth's 2026 season has been quietly solid, even if it hasn't produced a victory. In 10 starts, he has made 9 cuts and recorded 4 top 15 finishes, including a respectable T12 at the Masters tournament. While those results might not match the lofty standards he set earlier in his career, they indicate a player who is steadily regaining form. The consistency is there, but the finishing touch has been elusive. Spieth himself acknowledged this after Augusta, noting that his ball striking has improved significantly compared to previous years. The issue, he suggested, has been converting opportunities, particularly on the greens. Spieth's week hasn't just been about numbers, it's also been about emotions. During the second round, he found himself in a tense situation on the 8th hole after his tee shot ended up near a boundary fence. As fans crowded around, many holding up their phones to capture the moment, Spieth's frustration became evident. He politely but firmly asked the spectators to give him some space, saying, "Can you all just do me a big favor and maybe just leave the phones off my face?" The situation was further complicated when officials determined that his ball was out of bounds, denying him relief. Clearly frustrated, Spieth struck the ball toward the fence before regaining composure. It was a rare glimpse of raw emotion from a player known for his passionate, sometimes fiery demeanor. But just as quickly as the frustration surfaced, Spieth refocused, accepting the penalty and moving forward. A classic Spieth response. If there's one defining trait of Spieth's career, it's his ability to respond to adversity. That was on full display again in the third round. After finally recording his first bogey of the week, a 3-putt on the 6th hole, Spieth could have unraveled. Instead, he steadied himself and went on to card a 67, one of the better rounds of the day. It was a reminder that even when things aren't going perfectly, Spieth has the tools to compete. His creativity, mental toughness, and knack for making clutch putts continue to set him apart. More than just a statistic. While the 20-year milestone will undoubtedly be remembered, it only tells part of the story. Spieth's performance at the RBC Heritage is a reflection of where his game currently stands, capable of brilliance, yet still searching for consistency. For fans, it's both thrilling and nerve-wracking to watch. Every round feels unpredictable, every hole an adventure. And perhaps that's why Spieth remains one of the most compelling figures in golf. Even without recent victories, he continues to produce moments that are as memorable as they are unusual. Looking ahead. As the PGA Tour season progresses, the focus will remain on when, not if, Spieth breaks his winless streak. The pieces are clearly there: improved ball striking, elite putting, and a wealth of experience. What he needs now is a week where everything clicks at once. If that happens, the long wait for a victory could finally come to an end. Until then, performances like this, equal parts chaotic and captivating, will keep the golfing world watching closely. Because with Jordan Spieth, you never quite know what you're going to get. And that's exactly what makes him must watch.